Greetings, hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, greetings, hi. If not, thank you so much for coming back. For those of you who are new, my name is Noni. This is my channel. We talk about all things self-help, self-improvement, fitness, health, good vibes, general good vibes. So if you want good vibes, stay around for good vibes. And for those of you who keep returning but haven't done any subscribing yet, please remember to click the subscribe button and leave a comment and a like, and that really helps the channel grow. It helps the algorithms know that the vibe is vibing over here at the foot of my bed. Just an important note, taking care of yourself is going to look different in different phases of your life. Consistency means showing up every day, but showing up can look different on a day-to-day basis or on a month-to-month basis, depending on what is going on. So if you think that what worked 3 months ago, 6 months ago, even a year ago is going to work now, you are mistaken. And that is because you are a different person now. We are all constantly changing, just like the seasons, just like the constellations. Every day, every season is different. And so when you show up for yourself, just remember to have some compassion for yourself if you are different. If your self-care looks different now from what it did a few months ago, you are different now. Your environment is different now. Your circumstances are different now. And adaptability is really, really important in any kind of self-care regimen or self-care approach. While your self-care is going to switch up overall, the basics are going to stay the same over time. And these are some of the basics I want to cover, the ones that have helped me over time. Please remember that small changes yield big results. You don't have to try and overhaul your entire life at one time. Just making tiny changes really builds momentum over time. And so be patient with yourself on this journey. Small changes yield big results. I want to start off with the practical, factual, easy, well, not easy to implement, but easy to remember self-care tips. If you want to improve your mental health and improve your general happiness factor overall, you are going to need to limit processed foods, get enough sleep, you're going to need to exercise, you're going to need to reduce your alcohol intake, and you're going to need to reduce your sugar intake. That is just factual information. Give it a try, give it some time, give it a few weeks, and you'll see that there is a huge difference in how you feel, and also your decision making becomes better when you limit inflammatory foods and inflammatory agents that are in your foods. Chemicals like that really can exacerbate whatever poor mental or physical health that you may be in. So as much as you can, remember, I know that not everybody's resources are the same. Food availability is different, but as much as you can, have fresh food. Limit your alcohol intake. Just reduce. I don't say cut out completely. Life is for the living, so you're never going to be able to live without certain things or enjoyment or the juiciness of life. But if you can limit processed food, alcohol, sugar, really reduce that, because each to their own, you know how much is detrimental for you, and that varies from person to person, but that will help your mental and physical health tremendously. So generally speaking, I have limited, and I mean, this may seem superficial to some of you, I have limited the number of chemicals that go onto my face in my skincare routine. I had like this whole 10-step thing, and to be honest with you, it didn't really work. Half of my skin issues have been internal and hormonal, and so it's been about addressing that. So stop putting a lot of chemicals onto your body or into your body. So that obviously links to the previous point. But putting a lot of chemicals onto your body and into your body actually really strips your body, whether internal or external, of its natural abilities to heal and sort of repair anything that's been harmed. So now this obviously doesn't apply to if you know you have like a certain condition that requires certain products. That obviously doesn't apply to very specific niche nuanced situations. You know yourself, you know what's happening. But if you have like a whole bunch of stuff that's costing you money and not doing anything and full of chemicals, you might want to reduce the number of chemicals that you are putting on your body and in your body. And then on top of that, you might want to pursue more natural avenues that really don't destroy your skin barrier or destroy your gut, like the processed foods I spoke about in the previous point. So for me, this also included wearing less makeup, which has been really, really hard for me. In one of my videos, I actually spoke about the Venus retrograde, and I've also learned that I've placed so much of my self-worth in how I looked and presented myself in terms of how much makeup I had on every day at work, and I didn't really embrace my natural self. And so I've gotten better at doing makeup, but I haven't really embraced who I am without that or based my self-worth on that. So I've really been working on that. I put makeup on for this video, of course, but I've really been embracing the more natural aspects of myself, especially as I am getting older and more mature. Tip number 3 is to stop living in the past. Now, I'm not going to just be like, stop living in the past and not tell you how to stop living in the past. When you catch yourself saying, I should have, I could have, I wish it could have been, you are living in the past. So what you need to do is cultivate a sense of self-awareness so that you can catch yourself when you're saying, I should have, I could have, I wish it could have been like. That is when you're living in the past. Once you've caught that, you need to sort of reframe that. And how you reframe that is say, the past has nothing to do with me. It's gone. It's got literally nothing to do with you anymore. It is gone. What you are doing now is focusing on the present. The past is done, and all you can take from that is lessons. So the moment you're catching, I should have, I could have, I wish it had been, that's none of your business. All you can take from it is lessons. So switch that up with, what did I learn? What I learned from that is, and how I can apply that today is. That is really all you can do. Next tip kind of rides off of the back of the stop living in the past, and that is to reframe your negative chatter. If you are having this constant negative mental chatter in your mind, there are helpful phrases that you can say that immediately snap you out of that negative spiraling thought pattern. And those phrases will then help you rewire your neural pathway that was used to firing one way. You catch the negative thought, you stop it in its tracks, and then you rewire it with another one. You start with a positive thought. I usually try to replace it with the word of God, or what I feel that God would tell me or a friend would tell me, but you can replace it with just a positive thought, a positive affirmation. And this is going to take time, but it rewires your neural pathway that every time you think about this is actually not the way we're going anymore. This is not useful to us anymore. We're going to go this way. Here are the helpful phrases that can help you with this. First phrase pertains to when you are having thoughts that are really, really fearful, or when you're overthinking or ruminating on a topic that you cannot control anymore, or you're thinking about the future and you're scared and you're afraid of the unknown. This is what you're going to say. You're going to catch that thought, going to be aware that that thought is happening, and you're going to say, that is none of my business. That is none of my business, because it's not any of your business. You cannot do anything about it. When you say that is none of my business, you are helping yourself distinguish between what's yours, what's theirs, and what belongs to the world. And that stops you from internalizing a certain amount of fear, because it's just none of your business. So easy to get caught up in trying to make everyone else's business your business, and you are making life harder for yourself that way. So the moment you catch yourself in fearful or overthinking or ruminating, you stop, You say that's none of my business, and then you distinguish what's yours, what's theirs, and what's the world's. Usually what's yours is what you are projecting onto the situation, and that's what you need to process. Quite often, we take on everybody else's stuff, the world's stuff, and that can distract you and hinder you from working on what truly is yours. So it's kind of a double-edged sword where you're doing two things to yourself. You're overthinking, you're in fear, you're in fight or flight, and then on top of that, because you're doing that, you're not working through your own stuff, you're trying to work through other stuff, other people's stuff or the world's stuff, and that's just simply almost a regression in your self-care or self-development journey. When things aren't going your way, this is the phrase you're gonna say. This is not punishment. When things are not going your way and you catch yourself really stressed out about a huge bill that's just come in that was out of your control, or unrequited love, or when someone doesn't see your worth, or when you've been ghosted, or when you're in a fight, or whatever that's just not going your way, you say, this is not punishment. We make life a lot harder for ourselves because we think, if I was enough, this wouldn't be happening to me. And that's false. You are already enough, but life is also already life. So life is lifing. Life is hard. It's going to be quite difficult sometimes in general. And when you distance yourself or detach yourself from, this is punishment, this is telling me about my self-worth, to, okay, this has nothing to do with me. It's a situation that's happening. I can control how I react to this situation. That creates some distance and less victimization, I would say. You are not a victim. Sometimes you are, I get it. So I'm not talking about situations where you're actually a victim, where bad things are happening, like you know what I mean, okay? Don't make life harder for yourself, okay? Not everything is a punishment. Sometimes you just have to be a grown-up and deal with the things you're dealing with. That's it. If you are a creative or a creator of some sort, which I believe we all are within our respective fields and genres of life, and if you are struggling with that, if you are having blocks, if you are sabotaging, if you just don't feel that your work is good enough to put out there, whatever it is, this is the phrase you're going to say to yourself. I am in the business of perfecting, not perfection. Perfection doesn't exist, and we all know this, even though we strive so hard to get to a place where things feel like they should be perfect or look a certain way. You are a human. So when you are striving to perfect instead of striving to be perfect, you give yourself the permission to be a human and to evolve and to let your craft evolve. And that is the juicy part of life. Yeah. A very helpful self-care tip is planning. Planning and time management. That is the secret, okay? I used to be a huge planner. Then COVID happened and I just stopped. And my ability to do anything really got shattered because you were at home all day. What did you need to plan? You just do things whenever. Planning and time management is really important. Get the calendar out, get your notes app out, get your reminders on your phone out. If you take a few minutes on a Sunday to just plan your week, plan maybe your meals or whatever, your workouts, doesn't matter, whatever you plan to plan, or when you're going to do specific things, what happens is you use your resources effectively. And your resources are not only your money or external things. It means you use your personal resources, your mental energy. You disperse that effectively because firstly, you know what's coming up and what that's going to take from you, or what kind of energy expenditure that needs, whether that be people, places, work, hobbies, those kinds of resources. Your planning, your external really helps you with your internal resource management. Super important. Try to plan, try to brainstorm once a week. It's going to help. The next tip, when you say no, you don't need to follow it with an explanation. Ever. That's the whole tip. Hey, do you want to go out on Saturday? You don't feel like going out? Thanks for the invite. No, thank you though. I won't be there this time. I'm a huge explainer. I sometimes I will lie, okay? But, okay. Firstly of all, telling the lies has helped me say no. Like, no, I have a previous engagement, when really I'm just planning to sit on the couch because I know that's what I need. But it's really been a practice. It's really a stretch for me to be like, oh my goodness, no. Just no. You don't owe anyone an explanation unless like they ask and you feel comfortable giving them the info, then okay, cool, have at it. But just no is fine. Complete sentence, babes. Jordan Peterson, I know, okay, he's a sketchy guy, okay, in terms of like, he's his own worst enemy in how he represents himself. But Jordan Peterson, he explains that in this life, you have to be likable. You have to know how to get along with people and groups and work in a team. Firstly of all, humans are not built for isolation. So let's just get that out of the you're not built to do every single thing alone. Some people are more alone inclined, some people are more people inclined, but generally speaking, we are evolved as a species to work together in community for the best of the community, and that sort of results in the best for the individual loosely. Okay, don't try to apply what I'm saying to like political stuff, because that's so serious. Anyway, what Jordan Peterson was talking about here is EQ, emotional intelligence and emotional maturity. It's really, really important to learn to read the room. It's really, really important to know how to have sympathy. It's really, really important to know how to have empathy. It's really, really important to know how to talk to others, how to engage with others, how to work with others. So life is not just about IQ. And the reason we're talking about EQ is because very often, if you don't have good EQ, you are reactive. What this is to say is that how to take care of yourself is to face your reactivity. If you are going to react at a whim of everything, that is doing more harm to you than it is to anyone else. Yes, you can hurt other people by being reactive, but really, you are hurting yourself. And it is a huge mirror as to what is going on inside if you are reacting to every little single thing that's going on externally. It means you don't have emotional maturity. It means you don't know your own susceptibilities emotionally. It means you're not emotionally intelligent. And let me tell you, being emotionally intelligent can get you a lot further than just having a high IQ. You know what? I'm not sorry. Next up is to stop babysitting your emotions, right? Validating your emotions and babysitting your emotions are very different things. Validating your emotions, feeling them through, getting therapy, implementing your tools, whatever. But letting your emotions dictate that you will or will not do something just because you feel like it or don't feel like it really talks about this aspect of accountability, right? You can feel an emotion and still do the things you said you were going to do anyway. The best way to release anxiety is to take action. The best way to really learn to trust yourself is to take action, to do things despite how you may be feeling about them. Obviously, nuance is important. I talk about this so much and I will preach it till I die because multiple things can be true at once. We live in an area of gray, not black and white. So take it with a grain of salt. There are times when you know that your body is telling you to rest, but oftentimes it's just us babysitting our emotions. And when you stop babysitting on your emotions, you're gonna go to the gym more, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna do the things you're gonna do the things you said you were gonna do. So don't think, just do. Don't think, just do. Validate your emotions and then don't overthink, just jump into action. I heard something somewhere, probably on TikTok, where this lady said that men are taught to be brave and women are taught to be perfect. And this really stops women from jumping into sloppy action. So just doing the things they said they were going to do, having the experiences because they're so wanting to be perfect. And men, the word brave means that you are willing to try and do despite your fear and see what sticks. And often something will stick and you'll become really, really successful or really satisfied with your life or fulfilled. Whereas women, that takes much longer or it never happens because the goal is perfection and perfection doesn't exist. So be accountable, jump into sloppy action, don't babysit your emotions, validate, don't babysit. The last one, okay. When I was spending too much time on social media, I was a jelly McJellison, okay? Envious, comparison, it was not good. It was not good. However, one of the best ways to take care of yourself is to uplift and support other people. That is to compliment people, to support their businesses, to say hello with a big bright smile if you're up to that day. The energy you put out is also the energy you get back in the world. But not only that, it's just in life, not everything is about you. You'll shine in your time. You'll shine in your time within your life, within whatever shining looks like for you. Divine timing is important, but it's really important to uplift other people. Jealousy really stops you from having empathy, from seeing people as humans who also have gone through a struggle, and now that they're having a moment in their life that's a spotlight for them, enjoy that with them, support that with them, support them and uplift others, because we all need uplifting. And there's going to be a time in your life when someone is going to support and uplift you, and it's going to be like that one thing that made all the difference, that one moment that made all the difference. And uplifting other people really brings a sense of peace and humanity into your soul. And I believe that is an emotional cleanup. Being able to see other human beings is not your competition, but fellow humans who are still on this race of life. And I know how it feels when you are not getting from life what you worked for, what you've been waiting for a long time, what circumstances have frankly stopped you from getting. It's really hard to see other people getting maybe what you wanted to get, right? And so to find more peace within yourself, to do an emotional cleanup, is just to say, hey, well done. Hey, I love you. Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, I'll buy your ebook, or I'll share the story, or, so uplift and support other people. You'll be surprised at how much it does for you and your soul. Last thing is that if you are struggling with taking care of yourself, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, because even just asking yourself these 3 questions is the first step, is you putting focus on how you're going to take care of yourself. Is, what can I eat today that's nourishing? How can I prioritize rest? And what can I do that is joyful? Thanks for being here. Have a lovely day. See ya around. Comment your 3 favorite emojis if you made it all the way up until this point. I love emojis so much. And then, yeah. Okay. I gotta go to work. Bye.